So the cool thing that I did, well, I find it cool, you may not find it cool, but I decided to, when I read through this, knowing that Lori and I are also very interested, for whatever reason, it's the interest God has sparked into us, not only the spiritual world and understanding more of that, but is the end times talk. We just find it really fascinating to us. So as I was reading it, you know what, I was like, I'm going to track words to me that I felt related to end times. And I probably missed some, because know that too, when I'm going to come back and share another video, because I haven't really showed Lori at all that I
must admit, she did this. When I read the Bible, I just pulled up my notes, pulled up my Bible, checked it off, and sat with what I was reading and made some connections, but I physically didn't what she did. She actually tracked or wrote down things. I didn't do that. So I just wanted to show, say that, because, if you just want to read it just to read it, you can. You don't have to sit and track things.
No. And so I just had a notebook next to me as I read. Things I mostly was focusing at the start was I wanted to know what God's anger, wrath, fury, because I know another side thing that also interests Lori and I is those words associated with the atonement. Plan to do a more thorough study on atonement stuff.
Yeah.
I've been keeping, when I have a program where we can keep track of stuff, and I just right now, anytime I come a podcast or video, I don't not studying the atonement, but I don't want to lose it. So side note. So I tracked that, and then eventually I realized the Sheol, pit, hell type wording. Then I just was interested in tracking. I did a lot of the this has never happened before type language,
yes,
or you'll never see this ever again. So that type of hyperbole, I tracked all that was mentioned. Other things I tracked was clouds, the moon, the stars, anything related to that. I also tracked women in labor type frames, labor pains.
And I did notice that actually without even tracking it. That is something that my mind kept picking up and remembering, that labor pain idea was mentioned a few times.
Yeah, it was.
In the Testament.
So just to give you a nutshell, there's a few more things I tracked, just for whatever reason they're not coming up in my mind, but I have a whole document. It's super long, because I did it from all books of the Bible all the way to the end. Still, to be honest, sitting with all of this. I'm going to come back when I sit with it more and show Lori and really sit with it of what I tracked and what to take away from it all. I'll make sure I will come back and share that video. The project has mentioned that, track water throughout the Bible, track the work of the Spirit.
Just helps you have a little bit more of a focus. And
share this also about tracking, and like Lori said earlier, you don't have to do it, but I do find if you are struggling to get into the Word, or you just kind of maybe feel blah when you come to the Bible, I do find picking something to focus on just brings the pages more to life as you track that, because then you start making the connection. So if you feel, not excited to read God's Word, or just in a period you feel like you're stuck spiritually, I recommend picking. There's so many, go to the Bible Project.
A lot to follow, the different patterns, or Michelle said, look for just any time God is angry or the wrath of God, and see what that leads to, or
exactly. So just or something that you're struggling with that you don't understand about the Bible, track that in the Bible. So I just share that also. If you're in a spot where you just can't sit down to read it, try that and see how that helps you. Again, of course, pray to God about it. So if you want to follow along with Lori and I's journey, the second time reading through the whole Bible, I'm going to be doing that over in our local details down below. It's just a way for us to say thank you if you're able to financially support us, so we can keep creating content for you guys, keep investing into Bible study tools, so we can keep giving you what we're discovering. And just thank you again for being here on Lori and I's journey of reading God's Word again. We just really want to encourage you to read His Word. It has really changed us, and we know it's just going to continue to change us. We know we have a long journey still ahead, but it's been fun and exciting. We hope our excitement for it encourages you to get into His Word.
And it's just, we're so blessed and grateful that the Lord has allowed us and the ability to have time to do this, but also He allows for this, but it also, you just have to decide. Kind of goes back to the start of being disciplined. You have to decide that you want to do this and stick with it, knowing that you're not going to be perfect with it, and that's okay. Just pick back up where you left off, and don't think too much about it, knowing that God will keep blessing that time as you keep moving forward.